Imagine this. You're watching a movie late at night, the room lit only by the glow of the screen. Suddenly, click, everything goes dark. No lights, no sound, just silence. Then almost magically, before you even have time to react, the lights snap back on. The TV reboots, the fan hums again, and life continues as if nothing happened. No candles, no panic, no fumbling for your phone flashlight. It feels instant, almost supernatural. But behind that seamless transition is a carefully engineered dance of sensors, switches, and power sources working in fractions of a second. So how does backup power switch on so fast? And why does it feel instantaneous, even when an entire power grid just failed? Let's pull back the curtain and explore what really happens in those invisible moments when the lights go out and come right back on. Let's explore right here on History of Simple Things. When utility power suddenly disappears, the change is not subtle to electrical systems. In fact, modern electrical infrastructure is constantly listening to the flow of electricity. Devices like automatic transfer switches, uninterruptible power supplies, and smart inverters are always monitoring voltage, frequency, and stability. The instant the power drops outside safe limits, whether from a blackout, brownout, or grid fault, these systems detect it almost immediately. We're talking milliseconds. To the human brain, anything under about 1/10 of a second feels instant, and backup power systems are designed to respond well within that window. That's why, to you, it seems like nothing really happened at all. At the heart of most instant backup systems is a device called an automatic transfer switch, or ATS. Think of it as a highly disciplined traffic officer for electricity. Under normal conditions, it allows power from the main utility grid to flow into your home, office, or building. But the moment it senses that utility power has failed or become unstable, it immediately disconnects from the grid. This is a critical safety step. Backfeeding power into damaged grid lines could injure workers or damage equipment. Once the grid is isolated, the transfer switch connects your electrical system to a backup source, such as a generator, battery system, or inverter. All of this happens so fast that most electronics barely register the interruption. Not all backup power systems are equal when it comes to speed. Battery-based systems like uninterruptible power supplies or modern home battery backups feel the most instant because they don't need to start anything. The batteries are already energized and standing by. In many UPS systems, your devices are actually being powered by the battery at all times, while the grid simply keeps the battery charged. When the grid fails, there is literally no switching delay. Power just continues flowing from the battery instead of the wall. That's why servers, hospital equipment, and critical communication systems rely heavily on UPS units. To them, a blackout is just another normal moment. Generators introduce a slightly different story. Unlike batteries, generators cannot supply power instantly because they must physically start an engine. When utility power fails, the transfer switch signals the generator to turn on. The engine cranks, fuel ignites, and the generator ramps up to the correct speed and voltage. This process typically takes a few seconds. During that short gap, either power is temporarily lost, or a battery system bridges the gap until the generator is ready. In homes without a UPS, you might notice a brief blackout of 2 to 10 seconds. In more advanced systems, batteries seamlessly cover that delay, making the generator's startup completely invisible to the user. You might wonder why your TV, router, or computer doesn't immediately die when power flickers. That's because many electronic devices contain small internal capacitors that store just enough energy to ride through extremely short interruptions. When combined with fast transfer switches or battery backups, these components smooth out the transition. The result is a system that feels far more robust than it really is. Even though electricity is stopping and restarting behind the scenes, your devices experience a clean, stable flow of power. This careful coordination is what protects sensitive electronics from damage during outages. Modern backup systems are getting even smarter. Some don't just react to outages, they anticipate them. Advanced inverters and smart grids can detect unstable conditions, such as sudden frequency shifts or voltage drops, before a full blackout occurs. When that happens, the system can preemptively switch to backup power. To the user, there's no outage at all. This kind of predictive response is becoming more common in solar plus battery systems, data centers, and hospitals, where even a momentary loss of power is unacceptable. The final piece of the puzzle is human perception. Our brains are surprisingly easy to fool when it comes to time. Anything faster than about 100 milliseconds blends into a single event. Backup power systems are designed specifically around this limitation. Engineers know that if the switch happens fast enough, people won't notice it, and that's exactly the goal. What feels like instant is really a lightning-fast sequence of detection, disconnection, and reconnection, all happening in less time than it takes you to blink. So the next time the lights flicker and come right back on, remember that it's not magic. It's engineering at its finest. In those invisible moments, sensors are measuring, switches are moving, batteries are discharging, and generators are waking up, all in perfect coordination. Backup power feels instant because it's designed to move faster than human awareness, protecting our comfort, our devices, and sometimes even our lives. The power may fail, but the system is always ready, and that readiness is what keeps the world running, even in the dark. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.